Good evening. Welcome into this edition of The Bar. Harp on Sports, The Bar on the Harp on Sports audio, media, and podcasting network. What do we have in store for you tonight as we hit the latter third of the month of July? Well, a couple of things as always. A little NFL player pause. A little college football fact-finding, and a little Canadian courage. Before we get started, as always, follow, like, share, follow, like. Harp on Sports Facebook page, Harp on Sports Twitter, at Harp on Sports, at Harp on Sports Instagram, harponsports.com. And you can check out Harp on Sports, The Bar, on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, and Spotify. Okay. Vince, yo, back at you. Let's see here. We're going to start a little NFL courage, little NFL player pause. NFL football players on Sunday decided that they were going to tweet at the NFL because that's the number one way to get people's attention. It used to be press conferences, have a civil discussion. It's not the case anymore. It's to tweet. The president has proven us that. You tweet at somebody, it's where you're going to get attention, even though only about, I think, 16% of Americans have ever tried it. Still, it's the number one way to get somebody's attention nowadays. And they basically, in a coordinated effort, came out and said the NFL is not doing things to make us safe. They want us to report. We do not know any of the safety guidelines. They haven't done anything. They're not telling us anything. We haven't gotten together and talked about things. Where the NBA has gotten together and talked with the players. Where Major League Baseball, remember that fight for a couple of months there where, oh, this is terrible. I hate these spoiled millionaires. I hate these billionaires. They got together and they figured it all out. They did. They got together and they figured it all out. The NFL really hasn't done that. So now you've got a bunch of players saying, hey, look, what's our plan here? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? To that, the NFL ownership has yet to respond. And you got a mess on your hands. You do. You got a giant mess on your hands. And here's the thing, too, when it comes to this. You know, it's amazing, and I've said this for years, how much fans despise athletes. Love sports, but despised athletes. Oh, nothing but a bunch of rich, selfish people that take care of their body better than you have ever taken care of anything in your life. So they don't want to put said body at risk. And I keep seeing these things from people because, again, my faith in humanity is not gone, but I've realized just how clueless people are. I mean, you know, people are fools, but you don't realize how foolish and dangerous they are. I keep seeing people, oh, the death rate's only 2%. Number that they just completely pulled out of their ass. The death rate's only 2%. What about the other 8% then that have congestive lung problems the rest of their life or heart problems the rest of their life? Scarring in their lungs and their heart. Cool. Whatever, you don't die, you're fine. It's like you survive 100%, you get it, you survive 100%, or you die. There's like no middle ground when it comes to this. You're a professional athlete, you get sick, and you live, but it damages you. You could lose $60, $70 million. You have every right to be selfish. And this is what really, really pisses me off about this stuff, is that at this point in time, too, when it comes to this and the sickness and the injuries and players, NFL players saying, we got to have a plan here to keep us safe. Good for them. Good for them. There's only 2 preseason games. You all complain about how you hate the preseason anyway. Who cares if they don't play for the next month? Come up with a plan to make them safe. Come up with a plan to make them safe. This is ridiculous. And this whole thing is, they just need to suck it and go up and go out there. They get paid millions of dollars. Just suck it up. You throw a fit and act like a 4-year-old because you have to put a mask on. And yet you're going to tell millionaires who their bodies or their lives to suck it up? Type of garbage is that? How embarrassing is that? Hey, you know what? You just suck it up and get out there and play, millionaire. We need to put on your mask to go into Costco. Oh my God! It's like putting a Star of David on my arm. No, how? God, some of you are really, 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 really stupid. Really dumb. And your stupidity is not going to get me killed. It's not. I see somebody that's behaving like a fool, I'm going to call him a fool. Reckless people are now endangering other people. They are. Endangering other people. Whether it's teachers, send kids back to school. Those kids get the teachers sick and the teachers go away for 2 weeks. You throw a sub in there and get them sick too? Send them back to school. Okay, how about this? I'll send 30 random kids to your parents' house. We cool? Send 30 random kids to your parents' house every day for 5 straight days. You think they're going to be okay? Let's do school at your house then. Fools. Good for the NFL football players. We don't have a plan. We want to be safe. You want to be safe, right? You do. You expect the Food and Drug Administration to do their job to make sure your food is safe. You expect the FDA to do their job so there's no bomb on an airplane, right? Yeah, well, NFL owners got billionaires sitting around. And what's the plan? This is why Roger Goodell makes $25 million a year. You sit down with the other billionaire owners and you come up with a plan. We're going to put you in a bubble. We're going to isolate you. And you're each going to have your own hotel room floor. We're going to put people on the first 4 floors. What about the families? Well, here's the thing. You're going to separate from your family. Well, I don't want to separate from my family. All right, this is where you just need to sit down with the Players Association. And this is the easiest thing to do when it comes to things like this. And this is why you always have problems. Somebody comes up with an idea and they lobby the idea over, like volleyball. Volley the ball over. And then the other side comes with an idea and they volley it back rather than getting in a room and going, okay, give me your top 4 ideas what you think we should do. Now I'm going to give you my top 4 ideas what I think we should do. Everybody comes up with their top 3 or 4 ideas, and then you have 40 ideas, and then you start to whittle them down. So you get things done. But it's much easier to go on Twitter and complain. God, embarrassing. Good for the players. Good for the NFL players. For saying, you know what, we're not going to show up until you guys get this figured out. Good. Neither should they. So we got that. Little NFL player pause. On top of that, college football. A week ago, I hopped on here and spoke with you about how the SEC and major college football had decided what? The SEC, we're going to wait to the end of the month. We're going to wait a couple of weeks here. All right. Were they going to wait 16 days? Is that what it was? All right. 7 days. What have we learned? This is a disease that's growing rapidly. In 7 days, you're not going to fix anything. In 14 days, you're not going to fix anything. In 21 days, you're not going to fix anything. In 28 days, you might start to see a little bit difference. If everybody wears a mask, people aren't going to wear a mask. Why? Because they saw a post on Facebook that said it's for pussies. Yeah, come on, don't wear your mask. Come on, what are you doing? Don't wear that thing. It makes you weak. May even make you a homosexual. Don't put that mask on. Don't. It'll make you weak. It'll make you gay. You'll be tough. Be a man. Smoke some Marlboro Reds. I saw a study that was posted tonight. Smoking increases your chances of getting COVID-19. I'll be damned. Compromised lung system, huh? Compromised lung system. So here we are. And I think it's funny when you look at different countries. You look at countries like South Korea, Japan. You look at countries where people wear masks and their illness rate drops dramatically. Countries that wear masks, their illness rate, it really, really drops dramatically. Countries that don't, that just wing it, like Brazil right now, America, skyrocketing. And this whole thing about college football, we're going to get college football back. No, we're not. Well, you may play. You're not going to get to go. And that's what I keep seeing is, oh, well, we're going to have college football. Yeah, you may get it. You're not going to get to go, though. You're not. It reminds me of, I'll tell you a quick little story, and I'm going to give you an analogy to this. Just because you may get something doesn't mean it's going to be what you want it to be. The Dukes of Hazzard analogy you've heard me give you before, where Tom Wopat, John Snyder couldn't get a deal done their final year, the Dukes of Hazzard, so they left. And then they brought in the Cousins, Coy and Vance, and they spent a year with lookalikes. Got the show still the Dukes of Hazzard. It's not what you thought it was going to be, huh? I think the last 3 Star Wars movies, or the last 6 Star Wars movies, struck a chord like the first 3 did. They still say Star Wars, but is it? Is it? Not the same, is it? May have the name on it. Not exactly the same. And that's where we are with this. And you may get college football, but it's not going to be what you, the band, the pageantry, all that, gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. I told you last week, if you made everybody wear masks and you don't have to shut things down. You don't. Just everybody has to wear a mask, and you have to take extreme precautions and basically scare everybody into getting things done. Everybody shut it down. If you want football, coaches have come out, except the coach here at Florida, Dan Mullen, because I don't know what maybe it's just too hard. Don't want to make anybody upset now, you know. Why is everybody so worried about making morons upset? Why? We can't let that. We can't upset those fans. You mean the bottom 10%? Who cares if those people are upset? What are they going to do? Not spend their not money? I'm going away and I'm never going to watch sports again. Go. You're not going anywhere. But this whole thing that this is going to turn around, it's been a week. Told you nothing's going to change. And actually, I was wrong. Things did change. We had, here in the state of Florida, a 19% jump in coronavirus positive tests. I was wrong. We went up. Number one. So, and don't tell me sports figures and people saying wearing a mask doesn't make a difference. There's some moron on our station's Instagram page that said, once Donald Trump tells me to put on a mask, I'll put one on. Have the director of the CDC and other medical professionals tell you to do it, you ignore them. But once the president does, that's why I said football coaches should come out and tell. If every coach in college football came out and said, do your part, wear a mask, and we can be back in the stadium by October, you get 20% of these boobs to do it, 1 out of 5. You would. It's a start. It is the start. So, in college football forecast a week ago as opposed to today, cases have gone up. When the SEC, we're going to wait a couple weeks. You can keep waiting. We haven't made any adjustments. Nobody's made any adjustments. They haven't. It went from this thing as a hoax to, okay, it's good, it's real, to, oh, what's 5% death rate, to it's 1% death rate, to the malaria drug works, to it's Joe Biden's fault. Where's Joe Biden? Nobody does anything, though. What's anybody do? What you name me? What, we're going to wait for a vaccine. Nobody does anything. Nobody's actually done anything. Do you do your part? Do you wash your hands? Do you do all those things? Do you try to stay healthy? Do you wear a mask? Do you? You do? Do you encourage other people to do? Do you whack people that don't? I was at the grocery store the other day, and there's this guy, when I was walking out, and he's sitting there, and it was right at the checkout, and he took the mask off. He looked around, and he said, there's no mother that's going to make me wear a mask anymore. As long as people think that way. Not fixing it. You're not fixing it. Who's to blame for this? The bottom 10%. That whole thing, if somebody jumped off a bridge, would you? There you go. There you go. And again, through all this stuff, I'm not ready to kill teachers. I'm not ready to risk a lot of things. Tyler writing, I want to see how my elementary students keep their mask and glasses on when they're required to when school starts. They're not going to. They're just not going to do it. They're not. They're not going to do that. I like how the kids don't get sick. Well, the kids are going to get other people sick. No, they won't. It's going to be a magical disease. It's going to be the first one that's never spread ever by children. Nope, no kids are going to spread this disease. No, they won't. They won't. Why? Because the guy that I went to high school with that cleans windows now, that installs windows in a car, read about it on Reddit. It's true. So you're not going to get college. You're going to have football, maybe the NFL. You may not. You may have college football. You're just not going to get to go. I'm going to say this every single week. I said it at the end of June. Well, actually, I said it way back in May that there was no way I wouldn't know. I should give you 50-50 chance. You have a 0% chance of having fans in the stands come September 1st. Zero. Not going to happen. These numbers aren't going down. I like that. These numbers aren't going down. They're not. Go ahead. Believe it. Keep that dream alive. You have to be asleep to believe it. Last thing, a little Canadian courage. How about Canada at least looking around and going, all right, Major League Baseball, we don't want you here. You're going to go down to Buffalo. Stay down there and stay infected. Yeah, Canada kicking the Blue Jays essentially out of Toronto. Out. Now, but they have hockey in Toronto. They do, but they're all quarantined. They're not going to let people come and go. Baseball players come and go. They're not. Think about this. Baseball is the one that you can control, too, because you only have 27 guys traveling. Actually, not by the time you count the coaches and the managers, and I get that, in front office, 40 people traveling. And it's not like football where you have 200, 150 by the time you count the coaches and trainers and every 100. Think about that. Think about how embarrassing it is to be American right now. No other country will let us in. Even Canada looks around and says, hey, you know what? Nah. Take your disease and your filth and go somewhere else. That's where we are. Proud of yourself? I'm an American. Yeah, you are. Right now, that's an embarrassment. It is. If you're not embarrassed by this, and again, you watch what's happening in Canada, what's happening in Canada right now with baseball is what's going to happen in football in a month. It just is. See the numbers going down? Oh, they're going to go down. Why? Eventually, they'll go down. Eventually. I like the new thing now is like, well, there's a 98.8% survival rate. Where'd you get that number from? Well, the cases that aren't being reported, so now you got a percentage for things that you don't know. And even if that were true, which it's not, even if it were true, a 1.2% death rate on this kills what? 4 million Americans? Sports is my job. And I want it back more than almost any of you. It's how I get paid. It's how I'm able to afford things. It's my job. It's my job. But I'm here to tell you, you're not going to get to go to a sporting event in person until November 1st at the earliest. I don't think you're going to have a season start until October 1st. Not one with fans. Football won't start till October 1st, and you may get to go November 1st. May. That's if you start doing things right now. Start fixing things right now. Essentially, trying to lose 20 pounds in a week, you're not going to be able to do it. You got to start now. And we're not going to do it. We're not smart enough. You know that whole thing, the person that cares the least amount in the relationship is the one that has the most power? Well, in this case, morons have the most power. They do. They're the ones infecting people. Irresponsible morons have the most power. So, another exciting edition. But here's where we are. And the whole thing, I'm looking for some positive news. I want positive news. Well, you're going to get some. Baseball starts here in a week. You're going to have games. You're going to have golf majors. Things are going to be taking place. You'll be able to talk about, this guy won here, and this guy did this, and this gal did this. It'll be great. It's going to be exciting. But you getting to go to games? Like I said, it's not going to happen. It's not. Do you find me a path to success? Scott writing in, Tyler, what happens when I have 800 students in my school and someone gets it? Do we quarantine everyone in the building? Tyler, I was talking to somebody about that today. Imagine if a teacher gets it Same thing in football. If coach gets it, we just quarantine the coach. Well, you came in contact with him. I, right now, can't go back into my building because I was in contact with somebody that had the virus. I've been tested. I'm waiting for the results to come back, but I can't go into the building until those results come back. Those are the rules. I feel fine. May have it. I may. Yeah. What are you supposed to do? I don't know. And here's the thing, too. Think about a school teacher's lounge. Let's say 3 teachers get it at your school. 3. That's what, 75 students? What are you going to do? Going to call sub and say, hey, we need you to come in and sub for Mrs. Jenkins. What happened to Mrs. Jenkins? Oh, she's dead. Come on in. How'd she die? Coronavirus. She's in the hospital. Come on in. We'll teach. Scott, Major League Baseball playing in a bubble just shows you, not playing in a bubble, how much out of touch baseball has become. You should show Ford logo behind the pitcher's mouth. Yeah, I know. Guys, look, it's the reality of it. You let morons in charge. Morons got to dictate things. You voted for one. Our governor here, look, the governor in Georgia, I'll tell you this, Ron DeSantis, I'll give you credit. At least, you have only been, you're the 49th most. Because you got people that are senators. Mitch McConnell's more powerful. You're only the second most incompetent governor. Brian Kemp up the road. He's number 1. Yeah, sue for masks. There you go. Sports are supposed to be fun. Well, then morons quit ruining it for us. Put on your damn mask. They don't make a difference. Yeah. OAN News told you so, huh? Anyway. That's where it is. It's going to be interesting like 5 or 6 years from now when you look back on things and smart people were right and morons were wrong. Oh, we didn't know. Yeah, you did. You just didn't listen. Big difference. All right, there we go. Seth Harp on Sports, The Bar, Harp on Sports Podcast, Audio Media Network. You can check it out. Twitter at Harp on Sports, Instagram at Harp on Sports, The Bar Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Buzzsprout, harponsports.com, the Harp on Sports YouTube channel. Follow, share, like, subscribe, all of those things. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Talk to you in the middle of the week. This has been The Bar on the Harp on Sports Audio Podcast and Media Network.